Hi, in this clip I'm going to show you how to insert subtotals, basically outlines with subtotals. I have here a worksheet that has our payroll, all of our employees across our organization, all of our stores, and we'd like to subtotal this by store so that we can see how much each store spent on payroll this last week. To do this, first thing we need to do is sort this list by the criteria we want to subtotal it by. So in our case, by store. So I'm going to go up here and get us sorted so that this list is sorted by store. You see our different groups there. Now we want to go to our data tab. And over here on the outline section, you'll see I have a button for subtotal. We have to make sure that we have a cell selected somewhere in this table. It doesn't matter where. We're going to click on the subtotal button and we'll get this little window. And this window, there's some options here that we have to select. We have to make some choices. So the first thing is at each change in other words, which column do we want to subtotal? By default, it picks the first column, which is first, the first name for our employees. We're going to select the drop down and choose store number because that's what we said we wanted the subtotal by. Use the function. We have the function sum by default, but there are other functions in here we can use as well. We're going to stick with sum, and then we're going to add subtotal to which column do we want to see the subtotals on. In this case, it's already selected. It pretty much figured out we wanted this one, the last column here, our total column, which is the gross pay, and that's what we wanted. So we're going to go ahead and select that. We can also choose to do multiples. So let's do this. Let's select hours and gross pay. Now let's go ahead and choose OK. And look at that. There is our subtotals. It outlined the list for us. We have our subtotals for, like we said, the hours and the gross pay. And it even gives us a grand total. And if we go ahead and collapse everything down to just the grand total, we see that. We can do a second layer of outlining here where we see the totals for each store plus the grand total. And of course, as always, we can expand the whole thing again. So now you know how to insert subtotals. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.